Good morning, rock stars. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. This is the week of Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has a great turkey day. Don't forget, Christmas party December 19th. Expect to see you guys there. We're going to have a good time. This morning, Audra posted about the lawsuit with the Department of Justice, that NAR, and here's exactly what happened with that. Okay, I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit here. There we go. And here's exactly what happened with that. The settlement was announced when the lawsuit was announced. So they obviously have been in doing some talking and all kinds of stuff like that. And I think that's fine. So they announced the settlement. And are we concerned about some of this? Absolutely, we are. Okay. But here's the crux of it. Okay. NAR and its member boards, in other words, MLS boards and all that stuff. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to give you some interpretations. Okay. We can't have anything that directly or indirectly prohibits, discourages, or recommends against MLS or MLS participants publishing or displaying consumers, compensation or database fields. That basically the buyer knows what we make anyway, so we'll go over that. Permits or requires MLS participants, including buyer brokers, we can't suggest our services are free. Our services are not free. Our services are paid by the selling broker, and we've always been upfront about that. Okay, MLS participants to filter, suppress, or hide or distribute it based on a level of compensation. This one is a really good thing because what they've done is you have seller. If the seller says, "I don't mind someone in Dallas showing my listing," they have to be able to access the home, where they have a super key for that area or not. So in other words, and be honest, it doesn't stop us from compensating less if they're not a member of our MLS, okay? And Trek still has a hard and fast rule of you have to know your area. So if they know the area and they want to come out and they want to show the house from Dallas, they're allowed to, okay? And it's up to us what they're compensated. Now, a lot of times, I'd rather them call and say, "I want to come show the house," than send out a customer to show the house and have us show the house and do all the work, and then here comes the contract in. Then we have a procuring cause issue. So all it does is we've been really bad about transparency. Some of us have about transparency. Some agents like, "Oh, I'm not going to show that unless it pays me so-and-so." We don't have that right. Guys, the worst among us end up making rules for all of us. So I told you guys they're clamping down on bad realtors. We're good realtors. So as good realtors, we don't have to worry about a few things. But I got a few notes here. Okay. All right. In accordance with a longstanding focus of creating efficient, transparent marketplace for sellers and buyers, the compensation offered for a buyer's agent on each MLS listing is now going to be made public. It's already made public when you get paid and they get the closing document. It shows what the selling and the buying brokerage were paid. Okay, so don't worry about that. I don't mind telling a customer, but here's the deal. Okay, it has to be in the public what's being paid. All right, so here's the deal. I send over to XYZ agent that I want to look at these houses, and all of a sudden 3 of them aren't available to show, but they don't pay 3%. They pay 2 or 2.5 or 1 or 1.5. So, and you call back, "Oh, I can't get an appointment for those." And they all happen to be reduced commission. Guys, if you're in the business, you got to show it to them. You have a buyer's rep. You can look at them and say, "I'll be more than happy to show you those." Absolutely. But according to the buyer's rep, my compensation is this, so you'll have to make up the difference. You have that option. So, but here's the deal. I don't mind showing something that pays me less. All right? I'm not in it for that. I'm going to make money. If I have an agent, and what they're doing is they think by making this, I earn every dime I ever made. Okay? And you do too. They think by posting that, people already know you're being compensated. Okay? So if buyers are allowed to know the information, and then they'll want to negotiate commission on your offers. No, it's not. The Department of Justice doesn't put that in there. That's not negotiable. Okay? It's up to the brokerage. Okay? The seller, you're only allowed by state law to give so much anyway. Okay? You're not going to negotiate my commission on the buyer's side, period. So if you want to get out there and you want to promise commission, then you get into what you're allowed to give by various state laws and this, that, and the other, and you don't want to get into that. So these are things you need to look at, okay? You know, it is, I don't know, I'm reading all of this, and it's pretty easy. And I've got some summaries here, so this is pretty easy to go over. But customers already know what we're making. I got no problem telling them what I make on a house. I got no problem showing them a house is 2% when I was working, all right? It doesn't matter. If they buy a house and I don't get paid 3%, if it only pays 2%, guess what? I remember. And I'm allowed, okay, TAR Legal will tell you this, I'm allowed to send that agent's broker a letter that says, you have established a 2% to the buyer and we will pay in kind. All right, we will pay a varying commission. Since you only pay 2% on yours, we will not pay you 3% on ours when one of yours sells one of ours. All right, so we're allowed to do that. Okay, so if they want to, if you've got a broker that's a discount, we'll send them a letter that says anything we've got listed, we agree with your marketing philosophy, we will match it when it comes to you. So guys, I'm not ashamed to tell a customer what I'm earning, okay? Not at all. We've had incidents where people just get totally out of hand, try to do it on their own, and then they come to us to clean it up. Doesn't work that way. So I'm not, if they have a problem with me earning money to represent them, I have a problem representing them, okay? All right, buyer's agents can no longer proclaim my services are free. I don't have a problem with this. The seller pays the commission, okay? It's the seller's money to give away. Everybody's, whoa, that buyer could have got it. No, the buyer can't get a discount, okay? The commission is earned by the selling agent, and we are sharing with the listing agent. Excuse me, we are sharing with the listing agent. The listing agent has agreed to compensate us out of their commission, okay? The listing agent makes 100% of the commission, and we're allowed to share in that through MLS agreements and all that. And we can tell our buyer what the share is, all right? Pure and simple, all right? But, you know, I don't mind not telling my service. Hey, my services are paid for by the listing agent. I don't have a problem with that, and here's what I'm earning. I'm selling you a $200,000 house, and I'm going to earn $6,000. Absolutely. I've helped you with MLS. I've helped you find it. You've got a lender that we referred to you. We gave you the best possible service. You've got a lender that we're familiar with that you had. We filled you in on what could possibly go wrong. Guys, we need to show them where we're earning our money. These things, can they be problematic? Absolutely, if you're dishonest. If you're dishonest, you're going to have a problem. I never had a problem telling people what I made anyway. If they had a problem with me making money, goodbye. I don't want to shop at their businesses either. So, I mean, the situation is really quite simply, okay? Yes, I'm being paid to represent you. What do you do for a living? Are you paid to do what you do for a living? Come on, guys. Let's be smart about this. And what's happened is, what brought this about is you have agents refusing to grant access to houses. You have agents refusing to show anything unless it pays them this amount. I mean, the list goes on and on. We're our own worst enemy. Our MLSs and our state realtor associations did not address this. So the federal government did. And it's it's always easier if you clean your own house, but when you don't and somebody else comes in and cleans it, you got a problem. Now we have to start questioning what the National Association of Realtors is really doing for us. But that's a whole different video, because I'll be honest with you, while I think they can be a great organization, I'm not sure we get what we're paying for with them. Okay, they impose rules, and what this is doing is they've imposed rules on us, and they say, well, since we're a private organization, we'll try doing real estate without the National Association of Real Estate. So, you know, we're going to do these, and we can go on your social media, and we can do this and that, because we're a volunteer organization. Try making a living without the National Association of Realtors. That's another lawsuit that's going to be coming down the pipe, okay? But I'm going to tell you this, buyer's agent can no longer proclaim their services are free. We never did, okay? We're compensated by the seller's agent and the seller and because the listing agent, the listing agent shares the commission that they make with us for selling the house, and that's fine. You won't be able to search MLS homes based on how much commission that you make. I think this is great. Agents, agents may be. It says right here. It says right here that they're going to try to make it where agents cannot search based on commission in the MLS, based on what the commission pays. I completely agree with that, because we have agents out there that say, I just won't sell it. Folks, that's redlining, that's discrimination, that's a lot of things. Our problem is we have discount brokers in our deal. Okay, let's play by the same rules they are. If they're paying less, then your broker sends them a letter that says your philosophy is to pay this kind of commission. Our standard rate is more. So we will agree with your marketing philosophy and pay your agents the same way. Now, trust me, I've sent those letters out, and those agents go completely bat crap crazy that when they get those letters. But we send them out, and I'll send them out to a broker that has agents consistently selling things lower, and then they want to get from us, and they want to get then they want to get all the commission. Hey, if their marketing philosophy to gain listings and to gain market share is to be a discount broker, I'll match them. I'll pay them at a discount. But that does not affect why we show the house. Folks, go show the house. Go sell the house. We won't be able to search for them based on how much commission you'll make. Fine. I don't care. I'm going to sell them a house anyway. And if I don't make much money, I'm going to look at them and go, you know what? I have a buyer's rep that I could have collected the rest of the money from you, okay? Or give me some referrals. I didn't mind selling you this house. Not a problem, because a good customer wants you to get paid. They want you to get paid. They're buying in a market that's good. The reason we're in this position is because our state associations, our national association, did not do a good job of telling people and telling agents and enforcing the rules that say these rules are already on the books, that you can't not show a house that's listed lower commission, but agents do it every day. They do it every day. Well, folks, they got caught. And guess what? All of us that don't care, it doesn't matter. They're the ones out there whining today, okay? A licensed agent can't be denied lockbox access just because they aren't an MLS member. Now, this is a tricky one. Does this mean we end up putting lockboxes on everything? If we end up putting combo locks, if we end up having to put combo locks on everything, what the hell are we paying for Supras for? The security of a Supra and this, that, and the other. So does one Supra key work nationwide now? This is going to take some some MLS getting together. This is something, if I would have been NAR, I don't mind them coming out and seeing, but here's the situation. It says they can't be denied lockbox access. It doesn't say property access. All right? So that means the lockbox, if they're a licensed realtor, and we can ask for a copy of their license and verify, okay? So how do we track, if you give them a combo, what stops them from giving the customer the combo and letting them go in? There's a problem. So we've got to be able to track them. So is it a super key? How do they get in the house? So it says that this is the one that's going to be problematic. I don't have a problem with somebody knowing our area, coming in and selling a house I got listed. I do have a problem if it's extra work for us and they're not a member of our MLS, and we have rules for that. It doesn't say that it doesn't have anywhere in here that says the compensation can't be different. So our MLS rules and our state rules allow that we can pay them less money, and we will. You're welcome to come in our area. I'm curious as to how the MLS is going to make lockbox access available and still be secure, where you don't have an agent out of Dallas or Houston or someplace, or even one in Tyler giving Longview, just giving a customer the combo. And then you got somebody, then we always having to change the combo. We're always having to monitor who's there. Okay, guys, this happens out in these rural areas. We've had it happen. Okay, we've had agents show up at a scheduled showing and somebody be there without a real estate agent because it had a combo on the house. And they deal, oh, my agent's around the corner. Your agent's around the corner. Okay? So here's the situation that this is the one that scares me. A lockbox gives you security, lets you know who accesses the house. And it says here, and this is per the seller. The seller can say, so I'm thinking the way I present this to the seller is I have no problem with somebody else selling it, but it says I must give them access to the lockbox. Well, my lockbox does not allow them access because of security, and if I put a combo on there, they could possibly give that lockbox code to someone who's not licensed and have access to your house at all hours, day or night. If you want it secure, it's up to you, but I have to advise you that there'll be a waiver. Miller Homes Group will supply you a waiver, or agent will supply a waiver saying that I have granted access to put a combo on the property, and I assume full responsibility for any unlicensed people showing it. Because I'm not going to have a $500,000 house, a $100,000 house, any house that I can't put a secure lockbox on. And then how do we get, they can't be denied lockbox access. Doesn't say house access, it says lockbox access. This one is of a huge concern. Now that is up to the seller. The homeowner gets to approve who has access to their home. I think it's a great concept. Okay? But do they want to approve somebody that any agent in the state of Texas can say, oh yeah, I'm in Tyler, and then come to find out they just gave their brother-in-law or their customer or whoever, okay, they've never been to the house, they don't know. You take that with the new rules in Texas to where everything can go to the title company, we got an issue. You got agents who in San Antonio can send people up here with a combo and don't tell me there's a code of ethics that protects against that. We're here because we didn't follow the code of ethics. So it's obvious that there's a problem. So don't tell me that that's not going to happen. So they can't be denied access to the lockbox. Well, all right, I got a $250,000 rural listing on a few acres, not many neighbors, you can't really see. I'm going to put a combo box on there and they can give the combo to anybody? I don't think so. So we'll have to design something that basically says, as a seller, I agree to have any agent access in the state of Texas, okay, any licensed agent in the state of Texas, to my home. I will not hold my listing brokerage or agent responsible should the combo box number be given out by an agent that's not a member of our MLS. So here's the situation. If I'm doing a listing agreement, and I want the house to sell, but if I'm doing a listing agreement, Mr. Seller, here's the situation. By law, if you say, I have to let everybody, I have to give everybody access who has a license in the state of Texas, access to your house, unless you say no, they must be a member of your MLS. And the reason for that is I can't control the security. If somebody's got a relative and I put a combo on here, I'm repeating myself because this is important. I put a combo on here and they're going to claim they're up here and their relatives out here looking, they're not licensed, they don't have errors and omissions insurance, they don't have all of the things they need. So if you want me to allow that, I'll be glad to, but you have to sign a hold harmless. You have to sign a hold harmless for Miller Homes Group. And you're going to see a lot of that. This is the only one I have a problem with because we cannot, in a time in our country when security is of paramount concern, okay, we've got an issue with giving people access to homes. I want agents to have access to homes, but here we are, we're giving an agent access to a home. How are we going to do that? They cannot be denied lockbox access. So how do you do that? So I'm curious as to our local MLSs, how they're going to do that. Okay? I really am. Because what this does, all right, this is the one that could be a really good thing, because what it does, it opens up the entire state of Texas. It doesn't matter what MLS you're a member of. You can go show property anywhere you want to. All right? I don't have a problem with that. But how do we do it securely and protect our homeowners? So those are things, to me, that are very important. I don't have a problem with telling the seller how much I make. I don't have a problem with telling the buyer how much I make. I don't have a problem at all telling a buyer that I'm paid by the seller through the listing agent. They share commission with me with an agreement. I don't have a problem with any of that. I have a problem with not having a home secure. So unless they can give somebody access, because one's Supra, one's this, we have multiple lockbox situation, this is going to be a nightmare for our MLS. Well, I'll just put a combo on it. Really? So you have an agent out of San Antonio calling, what's the combo? 1234 or 4231 or whatever it is. Okay, well, I'll be coming in Saturday to show it. You're going to drive out there on a Saturday, and I'm going to guarantee you her relatives or her customers going to be looking. I made you an appointment at 1 o'clock. If anybody asks where I'm at, I'm around the corner. Went to get us something to drink. First of all, you can't leave them unattended at a house. Or they're going to say, well, I'm the realtor. I'm Mrs. Smith. Furnish me a copy of your license. They're not going to have it. They need a picture ID and a copy of your license. Okay? So that's where we're going to start. If you want access, and they're going to grant access, we're going to need a picture ID and a copy of your license at Miller Homes Group. So I don't mind you selling it, but you're not going to send a customer up here with unfettered access. So your MLS boards are going to have to get together. NAR should have gone to the mat on this one. Okay? It's not the fact that I don't care who has access to the MLS. Okay? I don't care who has access to sell the home. Our job is to do what's good to sell the home. All right? It didn't limit what we can do in the way of compensation if somebody's not a member of our MLS. So that's the first thing they're going to say, well, by law, you have to let me come in. You have to let me show the house. You're absolutely right. And by law, I can pay you less because you're not a member of our MLS. And by Texas rules, Texas Association of Realtors, you have to be familiar with our market. Are you familiar with our market? What's the number one industry in our market? You see what I'm saying? So, guys, this is the only one that's going to pose a problem, and it's going to pose a security issue for listings. I'm curious as to how MLS. NAR did not do a good job on this for us, and I don't care who it is. I'll be more than happy to fly to NAR headquarters and tell them they screwed up. This is one they should have said, okay, can't be denied access to the home with the listing brokerage. So then they have to schedule an appointment with the listing brokers to get in. But it says here they can't be denied lockbox access. So does that mean that we want to come out and look, and I've got to go out and show them, I've got to go out and open up the lockbox, or I've got to do this? You know, our deal is we're not denying you access to the lockbox. Go right ahead. Do you have a Supra? No, I don't. Well, you're not denied, but you have to have the necessary tools to function. So I'm sure that's going to be our argument, and that'll get tested in court, you know, and this, that, and the other. But that's going to be a problem. This is the most problematic, and I don't know what the Department of Justice had on NAR, but they had them dead to rights to agree to this. The first three I got no problems with. This one, access is going to be an issue because what it's going to say is, well, then the listing agent has to give them access, and this is too broad, and it brings in security issues. All right. So can't be denied lockbox access. That implies that they ought to have access to the lockbox, not through us, not through the listing agent. So we can sit here and go over this all day. This is the bad one. I'm not worried about it. Our MLS, I am worried about it, but I mean, our MLSs will come up with something. At this point, when this goes into effect, and I'm not sure when it goes into effect, I don't know if it was immediate or not, but we'll just have to see. Okay. It says NAR will work with the Department of Justice the next 45 days to hammer out the final language. Then the NAR Board of Directors and fellow realtors representative must approve these changes, okay? So we got 45 days. So get a hold of NAR and say number 4 is a no-go, okay? Don't mind, okay, I do not mind if somebody comes out here, if they're familiar with our area under the Texas Association rules, okay? It's not saying that we have to compensate them the same as people in our MLS. So really nothing's changed other than they're wanting to give them access to a lockbox, okay? That we need to address because that can hurt us. The rest of it is just transparency that we already practice at Miller Homes Group. There's not a single agent at Miller Homes Group would say, I'm not going to go show that house because it only pays that. Not a problem at all. Okay? Let me know if you have brokers that consistently list things low, pay the buyer's agent low. I'll be glad to send them a letter that in kind we will pay their people low. Okay? So don't worry about that at all. We'll be more than happy. We don't fix commissions around here. So we do what we can to do things. We generally pay the other side a very fair fee, and we don't try to screw them out of commission. Right? We've got some brokers that do. We have some discount brokers that do. And you're going to see a lot of this coming down. And guys, the easiest ones to come down on, National Association of Realtors folded on this. They folded. I don't have a problem with 1 through 3. 4 has to be addressed. 4 has to be addressed in a way that the security of the homeowner, the security of the seller is addressed. And this is a big security issue in today's times. Guys, I want to hit on this for you. I want to thank Audra for posting it over there. I'd already read it. Went to Inman News and got everything I needed on it this morning. Love you guys. We're going to have a great year. These are things, and there's going to be more changes coming in the new year. RESPA is coming hard on some stuff. And I'm so glad we don't take money from people, okay? We have a lot of great things out there. Man, I'm talking to agents, and we have agents getting concerned to how much money that their broker takes. Man, I talked to an agent from a franchise over the weekend, and I was appalled. They had turned in their files, and somebody from the brokerage called them and said, why aren't you trying to use our lender? We didn't get a shot at that. And they're like, that's none of your business. What are you doing looking at my files and demanding that I use the brokerage's preferred lender? We don't have a preferred. They were like, you didn't give us a shot at that loan. Well, the customer chose the lender. Guys, we got agents every day saying stuff like this. The horror stories are beyond pale. I can't believe it. I am so looking forward to seeing you guys at Christmas. You guys have a blast. Stay out there. Hopefully this helps you on the new things. I don't have a problem with 1 through 3. We're already doing that. 4, very concerned about 4. I believe NAR is not representing us properly in a lot of ways. You know, guys, they have the potential to be a great organization, but there's a lot of politics involved there. So let's make sure that we do what's best for our customers. Let's make sure we do what's best in our marketplace to help our customers and keep our listings and everything secure. So you might want to get a hold of NAR and say number 4 is a problem. But guys, other than that, we're going to get out there and we're going to do business. They're going to force us to do business the right way. Doesn't hurt us. We already do business the right way. But we do have, the reason we're in this position, we have too many agents that are too sloppy. We see it every day. Think of the deals you do business on. Think of it. Okay? The Dream Team had a deal where the selling agent wanted to meet the appraiser there so she could talk him into the appraised value. Oh my God, it's horrible. I mean, you don't even want to know the things, the habits going on. Guys, and do we get it right? No, not all the time. We get it right most of the time, but we get it right up? No. But in keeping with the Miller Homes Group trend, I'm trying to stay out ahead of this. We've already given you some information on the new contract. Here's some new stuff that's coming up probably after the first of the year. So the only thing I have a problem with is number 4. Number 4 is hard to implement, and you're going to have agents jumping up and down screaming, I have to have access. That's absolutely right. Watch our listing agreements at this point. If you're not a member of our MLS, at this point, I'd move that down to 0 or 1 because we're going to have to work very hard at this. Now, the nice thing is they can't see the compensation. Okay, under the new rules, they can't see the compensation. So when they send over a contract and say, nope, I'm sorry, compensation's only this. The house is already sold. We have had agents, I got to tell you this, oh my gosh, had an agent on a house in Canton, was going to back out of the deal because it didn't pay her enough money. Honestly, did. And the buyer of the house knew the neighbor and went to talking to the neighbor, and the neighbor talked to the seller, and the seller said, here's the deal. And that deal ended up getting done. But we have agents out there that look at each deal as if it's the only thing they're ever going to do, and they don't have a plan for long-term business. Our plan for long-term business is to take care of our customers, sellers, buyers, investors, renters, commercial. And guess what? In the long run, if you do that enough, the money takes care of itself. Have a blessed day, guys. Have a great week.